Guys, I know it's close to Halloween, but Zealand Miles can't hurt you. He's the nice side of Miles Jacobson, the studio director for the team that builds Football Manager every year. He's, not scary at all. It's really actually, oh my. Whoa. Run! I actually think this wig is quite becoming, but I don't really want to steal Miles' style, so we'll go ahead and throw that over there. Thank you guys for joining me today. We are talking about all of the little features that Miles Jacobson himself has announced. In my opinion, what makes Football Manager actually worth playing, and what usually makes it worth getting the new edition of the game every year are all these small quality of life changes that alter the way the game feels as you play it over time. It's a very long Twitter thread, but I promise you we're going to blast through it quickly. I've never said that and then backed it up. I always take too much time, but we strive to improve with every video, and so we're going to give you a rundown of all the small features so that you can make an educated decision about whether you want to buy Football Manager 22 or not, or if you've bought it, the things to look out for. I will say, if you want to buy it, and you absolutely, in no way am I endorsing buying it or not, before I go through stuff like this, there is a link down in the description to Fanatical and to Nexus, two different stores that cover the vast majority of the globe. One of them should work for you, and if you buy the game through there, not only do you get the beta and all that cool stuff, but you also are giving our team, the editors, Reese, Eyal, Gadget, myself, Elizak, who makes the thumbnails, giving us more resources to do more cool things, and we thank you for that if you do. But only do that if you actually want to buy the game, right? I don't want to come off like I'm trying to sell the game so that you buy it. That's not what we're here to do. What I am going to force you to do is follow me on Twitter. I mean, come on, we're literally looking at Twitter right now. These are some banging tweets, at least C+ the majority of the time. I even have some witty banter with Miles sometimes. What a time to be alive, honestly. Let's get started. We've added nearly 4,000 new team talk and team meeting strings, a wide range of game scenarios, club rivalries, extra time, penalties, red cards, much more. Oh, that's, okay. The boring stuff you have to do in the studio to make the game better, because if those are all the same and you never expand the team talk options, then we'll blame you for them. So appreciate you making that change. You have the opportunity to speak to your team after a result, which could be useful if you want to keep or perhaps regain momentum after a run of games. This is huge because a lot of people struggle with, you got a lot of wins and then you lose and your team morale goes right, go all the way down. It's like Steve Bruce's job security, just where'd it go? If you can have a meeting after those types of losses that end win streaks to pick your team back up so that you don't go, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm losing, I'm losing, I'm losing, I'm losing, right? You can avoid that. That's actually like the dynamic youth rating. It opens up a whole new world of possibility. Can somebody explain to me the fruit next to these tweets, by the way? Just ignoring it. And now if you tell your team to expect to see them in training in the morning, your back room will now book that session in. Your players can't escape that anymore. I honestly thought that was already a thing. If you leave a team talk without speaking to your players, not only will you receive a warning, but you'll now have the option to hand over to your assistant. Thank goodness. You can't accidentally click through it anymore. That is a lifesaver. We've also added mental health information alongside your player's condition rating. Really? Let me zoom in on this. Satisfied. It is. Can't exactly see how he's accessed this. It's not something I found while I was playing the alpha either. So when you check up on your player's morale instead of the next match, you can see a detail. Oh, it's like you hover over the morale and you get a really detailed rundown about what they're exactly upset with, which can be nice. Your backroom team now focus a lot more on a player's weak foot, offering you advice and updates as your players other side progresses. Cool. I mean, it wasn't really in FM21 where you could actively improve your player's weak foot, so that's nice. A cleaner way of visualizing your tactics. You can analyze your team's strengths and weaknesses, your system's strengths and weaknesses. So it gives you a rundown of who's influencing that area, a nice little written thing that says they're suited to the role, they're influencing that area of the field, and a color layout of who's going to be able to get to that area, cover that area, can be helpful both offensively and defensively. I think especially for people that are newer to the game to understand where your players are going to end up without having to see it. We've added more options to the autosave feature. Yeah, I definitely don't need this. Oh my God! I turn the autosave off to film videos sometimes. And I never turned it back on. Shut up, okay? You've done it too, maybe. No, you haven't. Why would you have? That was the... Hello, darkness, my old friend. Something again. You want to watch me do stupid stuff like that, by the way, I stream on Twitch, and we also have a live YouTube channel where you can go check out the streams. You don't have time to make them. They're edited down 20-30 minute episodes. You can just keep track of the Twitch save as a YouTube save. We got options, like the autosave feature. The comparison graph now reminds you to scout a player further in order to receive full analysis. Helpful, but not something I've ever really needed. Dynamic rivalries. We put a little water droplet next to it. Hashtag wet. Dynamic rivalries means your rivalries as a club will change over time, which is a small thing, but it's also awesome because it affects how your players, how your fans, and how the media interacts around playing teams. So like if I'm in the 4th division of Portugal, I get promoted up to the 1st division, all my other rivals are down in the 4th division, well then Porto becomes a rival, a competitive rival, because we keep playing them, that sort of thing. At the end of every season, you'll see the top 5 signings in your division and one handy news item. Really? Yeah. We've cleaned up the layout of the welcome meeting pack to make the financial information easier to digest. I don't even remember what it looked like before. They make a ton of these tiny changes to the game every year, though, that improve that quality, and that's what we're seeing again, from things that, for me in particular, never bothered me, never affected me, to things like dynamic rivalries, where I'm seeing, oh, I'm going to use this. Information on current and pending stadium changes are also now included in the welcome packs too. I would hope they would always have been, but I guess they are now. Something a bit more technical, so no screenshot this time. We've optimized the skin that comes with the game. This means the game loads a bit faster, is smoother to navigate, saves hard drive space, and less to download, so it's kinder to the planet. Well, that's okay. I would hope the game speeds up every year. I feel like that's just something that there should be a part of the team always working on. One of the more technically minded, the frame rate locking is back. I can finally wield the power of my supercomputer! Yes! Each rules page of the league now contains work permit information. That is useful. We've altered the UI on the squad registration screen. I really actually do like this. It's a check and an X. It makes it easier to see who's there. They should always make this as easy as possible because nothing screws you quite like a registration error. When you're on the receiving end of the touchline ban, you get called into the boardroom to discuss things in a new boardroom interaction. Maybe get suspended or fined. I've never been given a touchline ban. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to get one, but here we are. Dynamic youth ratings. This is one that I liked. Boom. Yeah, we were on top of this the moment it dropped because I've been asking for this for years. This means that as you do well in a nation, any nation, the youth rating goes up. It can also go down. So if you have, you take the Italian league and nobody's making the Champions League knockouts and you drop to 5th, 6th in the coefficient, the national youth rating of Italy will go down. And the national youth rating of Belarus, say when I won the Champions League out of Belarus last year, it will go up with all of that winning. The youth rating, which determines the quality of youth prospects along with game importance and population. So this isn't just the only thing that determines the quality of the players that are generated out of a country, but it is a significant factor to it. And the fact that you can build that up over time is realistic. If a Belarusian team wins the Champions League, there's going to be a lot more young Belarusians playing or believing that they can be good. When you're given a pre-match day preview by your staff, you'll be told which game you should keep a close eye on, featuring teams you are neck and neck with in the table. That's nice. Normally I would do that reflexively, but you're reminded of it now, which I appreciate. In leagues where squad numbers aren't assigned to players that just use shirts 1 to 11 each game, you now don't have to give them squad numbers. This Wales, Holland, and some of Scotland. That's nice. Improved career paths for managers, so those in real life who have declared that they aren't interested in club jobs, only want to manage national teams and vice versa, can now be supported. Preserving simulation realism. When you're given your pre-match day preview by your staff, you'll be told which game you should keep a close eye on. You tweeted the same thing twice. Miles, you tweeted the same thing twice. I'll get to the bottom of this. It means something. The media source code's been refactored, so you'll see more appropriate media asking you questions both in and out of press conferences to enhance the suspension of disbelief when you escape into a career game. Thank goodness they needed to do that. The media gets very repetitive and sometimes asks you questions that just don't make a lot of sense. Like when you rotate the team and they go, well, why'd you start this guy? Is he the new starter? And you have no good option to answer. In a job interview as a manager starting their journey, you're now able to ask for support and gaining coaching badges. Ooh. Yes, that for journeyman, that's what you want. There's actually lots of new interactions possible in job interviews, including being able to change staff budgets, and lots of changes to how staff budgets work, to including changes in the new gen staff movement responsibilities. Okay, so your job interviews have really actually been overhauled a lot. Journeyman, perhaps. You tweak the staff responsibility screen to make it more easy to understand. If this makes it easier to understand, it probably needs some more tweaking. Can you imagine what it looked like before? Try not to. It'll give you nightmares. We've added the ability to get a suggested squad as the manager of a national youth team. At least they're doing something with national team management. We've tweaked the potential ability tooltip on each player's profile to give all managers, particularly new, a better understanding of what it means. They just kind of added some words to it to help you conceptualize what that 5-star is actually about. Now for a text-based segment. Ooh. As we do every year, we've updated the rules across all leagues, but have also added a bunch of new rules and structures to lots of leagues, including France, MLS, A-League, China, Germany, Mexico, Peru, Scotland, and Belgium. Good for them. We've also updated VAR rules to keep up with real life, including the different ways it works in England's oldest cup competition. That's the Carabao Cup, right? A little thing, but one that really shows the attention to detail we try to have in our games. We know, that's why I'm making this video, and I've already extolled the virtues. Do you need to say it yourself? Whatever. It has new animation cutscenes. Oh. Miles, I love you. It has new animation cutscenes for intra-squad friendlies, with the players warming up more casually and getting advice as a group. That's cool. I like that. It's a little nice touch. You'll now even notice new contextual content in press conferences, news items, and team talks around playing the same team twice in quick succession. They already asked you about it, but it was always the same question. How are you preparing your team to do this? Oh, it's a nice challenge, you know.
It's a great challenge for the club.
To keep the suspension of disbelief, which is to keep you immersed, a manager will now no longer be appointed on a match day for their new club, because it's just strange when it happens dealing with non-match day things on match day, I guess. I'm sure it's happened somewhere, though. They appointed a manager on match day, and that manager just walked right on the field and coached the team. There's lots of variations and new questions in press conferences. We're getting that a lot. 4,000 different strings of conversation, new overhauled media interest to try and keep you immersed as long as possible. You can discuss perceived referee bias. Oh, yeah. I am getting suspended so much. When receiving an award, your board may decide to publicly comment on it to add further context surrounding your achievement. Wow, my board talks. You'll be able to track any assurances made to another manager via the Promises tab, so you can avoid awkward conversations later in the season. I thought that was already there. A personal bugbear of mine, a bugbear of mine in FM, okay, is the lack of confirmation when a club takeover has happened on the chairperson changes. Something that slipped off the list for a long time, but not this year. Peach, apple, green, apple, blueberry, lemon. We mentioned this on the live stream, but there's some more info. FM22 has more variety in some of the manager environments, including more objects in the scene in the background, which is cool. They're slowly going for increasing the immersion. And now we've got a section that's on different little graphical things in the match engine, which can be cool. As you hopefully all know, equality is something that's very important as a studio. To join our rainbow flags and stadiums, we now have rainbow armbands and rainbow corner flags. Cool modern edition and realistic edition. With some injuries, players can play through them, but oh, dude, you're actually going to see it in the match engine. That is awesome. So when they have a cast on, or they've got a brace on their shoulder, their elbow, whatever, you'll actually see it like you were able to see the taped head in previous versions. New supporter banners featuring in club stadiums, which that's just super cool for licensed clubs. And on a separate note, I imagine you'll be able to mod this to add in whatever you want on the banner. Should be a fun time. Lovely looking new boots. Ooh, and they have new hair. Yeah, I'm still just going to scan my face into the game. But the boots, I mean, what are we talking here? Ooh, some sick cleats. Maybe I can get the ones I bought for $30 at Dick's Sporting Goods. I wonder if they have those in the game. Yeah, you didn't know how much of a high roller I was. Well, overall, these changes, some of them huge. Dynamic youth rating, I think, is just a fabulous fundamental change. Dynamic rivalries, I think, is very neat. And just a bunch of little tweaks that, you know, the majority of the time are not going to affect you, but your life is just going to be easier. It seems every football manager that comes out, your life is going to be easier. And overall, about the feature set, I do feel like that it hinges a lot on the data hub, but I am excited to play the game more than I had the opportunity to play it in the alpha, and actually really sink my teeth into it, because prolonged exposure over the course of those couple of weeks, I think, is the best way to determine whether I can recommend the game to you. But I'm glad to see that there is the normal bevy of tiny changes going along with what was initially a very promising set of feature announcements. You can check those videos out in this playlist, which is all of the different feature breakdowns and me actually playing the alpha version of the game for a few videos. That's all in this FM22 features playlist, so you can check those out. I'll see you on stream. Have a beautiful day. Keep it easy breezy and beautiful. Cover girl. I'm sorry, I just had to clear my throat.